Hey everybody, how are we all doing? Right, we gotta jump on. I'm on YouTube live, so hopefully I'm on. There I am. Oh, good, and we have sound. Yay! So I just have to wait for guys to join me. Hi, Keisha. You're always the first one on. You're like amazing how fast you get on these things. I think you're faster than me. So glad you come. Hi, Ellie. Ah. Wait for the gang to catch up. Hope you're doing well, everybody. Facebook user. Not sure who my Facebook. Hi, Mo. I'm a Facebook user, but because you're probably watching on the Border Buddy, I can't see who you are. Keisha says she has no life. I'm really sorry that I am your entertainment, Keisha. That is kind of sad. I was thinking today, you know, when you just before we get started, you know, when we see things on Facebook that are funny, like tell me you're, you know, born in the 50s without telling me you're born in the 50s. I was thinking today, tell me you're old without telling me you're old. I have ordered and received my third heating pad. So now I have one in my studio, one in my bed, and one in the den where we watch TV. That way I don't have to keep bringing it from one level to the other. That's how I know I'm old. And that's how I'm telling you I'm old without telling you I'm old. Hi. Okay, there's quite a few of us on, and it's only 3:02, so we can probably get started soon. Hope you guys are doing well. Oh, hi, Jennifer. Nice to see you. Sandy, hi, Sandy. Okay, so have you guys seen my blog post today? Did you nip over and see my blog post, or are you subscribed to getting my blog posts? If you are, you've seen the card that we're going to make today. I'm making a spanner card, and I'm making it with the Poinsettia Petals. Hi, Jeanette. Oh, thanks you guys for coming. So let's see here. We've got the Poinsettia Petals stamp set. It's in that lower left corner. It's in the Annual Catalogue. Hi, Mary, on page 92. And it was originally a stamp set that was stamps and dies that were offered in a bundle in the last Christmas catalog. So not the one that we're in, but a year ago. Hi, Marilyn. And I always want to tell you guys that sometimes things come back and sometimes they do not, right? And we find out, oops, I'm going to move that. We find out when they're coming back when the carryover list is created. And that list will be live for customers on December the 1st. So we'll be able to tell you what of the famous or favorite products in the current catalog will carry over to future publications. So this was one from last year. Now, if you bought it last year, you were able to get the dies and the stamp sets in a bundle and save 10%. Once it moves to a new catalog, they split them up. So you pay the full price for both. So just something to keep in mind. If there's something that you love from the current little mini, you should get it as a bundle. Hi, Carol. Hi, Diane. Hi, Monica. Okay, so this is the stamps that we're using along with the dies. Okay, so let's get started. Let me move all this out of the way. Okay, I'm going to be using the, can you guys see this? This is, let me just grab a piece of cardstock to put under that so you can see it. This is the Merry Melody 3D embossing folder. It's from the mini catalog, the current one, and it's all musical notes. Isn't it awesome? You want to make sure that your musical notes are going the right way. I've seen lots of cards online and they're upside down, and it's kind of hard, but I have a friend who, you know how everybody has their pet peeve, right? Hers is when she sees a card. So now I'm like completely freaked out that I'm going to put it the wrong way. And actually this is the correct way. So it's kind of weird because they printed it wrong, right? So this is the right way. And yet this is up here, so you would think it would be that way. So no wonder people are making a mistake. Although I say first world problem. So we're going to be using that. And like I said, we're going to be using the Poinsettia Petals stamp set and the dies. Okay. So I'm going to make another spanner card. I showed you the spanner card that my sister Mo sent me using the Eden's Garden. And I used that to design this card. This was on one of our Facebook Lives earlier, maybe last week or earlier this week. I can't remember. Okay. Oops, that doesn't belong there. And so a spanner card just means that you've got two sides that flip independently of the middle piece. That's really all it is. Well, I'm not really in. Oh, yeah. Okay. Are you in camera? Maybe a little bit too close. Let's move that up a titch. There we go. Okay. So that was last week's, and there's a video on my YouTube channel for that. Today we're going to use a completely different set and a completely different look. Okay. So let's show you. I'm going to start with Crumb Cake, and I have just cut this to our standard size for North America. So 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. I'll give that a nice little burnish there. I'm going to bring in our cutter. So make sure I'm in screen here. There we go. And what I want to do is I want to cut two side pieces from the bottom to the fold, 1.5 inches in from each side. So the easy way to do that is to line it up with the 1.5, just like that. Take my cutting blade, which is the darker gray of the two grays, go up to that fold, and you can see this is where the actual blade is. There's little indications on this blade that show you the middle. And I know that that will be at the fold, so I'm going to just run it up. Okay, so now I've got this free flowing piece here. And then I want to, for me, this is how I do it. I flip it over, so I've got my cut piece here, and I do the exact same thing. And you can cut from the bottom up to the fold, or you can cut from the fold down, whichever you prefer. Okay, so now I've got my 3 pieces. So that's all I need for that. I've gone ahead and cut out 2 pieces of Designer Series paper. This is from the Painted Christmas Designer Series paper pack, and I really liked the pine cones. So I'm going to use that side. How's everybody doing? Oh, hi, Eleanor. Raindrops. Eleanor McGarry is the funniest person. She's my funniest friend. And she just said that pointy raindrops. She's always doing pointy raindrops. So Eleanor and Ellie and Mo know my friend Lisa Althouse. She's the one that cannot stand the upside down music. And honestly, pointed raindrops send her over the deep end. So if you ever do a card swap with her, Eleanor, make sure you don't have pointy raindrops. Okay, I'm just saying. She'll be like, ah. Okay, so that's 2 of our 3 pieces. Now our middle piece here, I want to use that embossing folder that I showed you earlier. So let's grab this little piece here. So these pieces here, you guys, are 4 by 1 1/4. And this piece here is too big, so we need to cut it. So this piece here is, let me grab my ruler here. It is 2.5, so it should be 2 1/4, and this one's too big. So let's trim that to 2 1/4, and then we should be good. Yeah, 2 1/4 by 4, and we're going to run that through our embossing folder, and we're going to do it the right way so we don't make anyone crazy. I don't think people would even notice, frankly, because it's like, who's going to stare at this little piece and say, those D notes are going the wrong way? What I've done is I brought in my big machine. I don't usually use my big machine, as you guys know, but I need it for all those poinsettias. It's just easier. And I need it for this piece here, because this won't fit into my mini. Okay, so I've got my platform. I've got my folder with my piece of paper, and I have plate number 4. We're just going to run that through. I mean, look at this, you guys. It's like butter. It just goes through like butter. It's amazing, this large Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. Okay, and it's still a workhorse, just like the old Big Shot was. Okay, so there we go. That's going the right way, which I'm now going to stick to my piece of paper before I forget that it's going the right way. Okay. All right. Oops. Okay. And almost went the wrong way. There we go. All right. So there we go. That's the first part of the card. And on the inside, let's do that now so that we can get that out of the way. On the inside, I want to take another piece. Now I use shimmery white, actually. I forgot to say that. Instead of the basic white, I use shimmery white, and I'm going to use one of the sayings from the stamp set. May magic and wonder bloom this holiday. And I choose, you don't have to, but I choose to have the saying fit within this piece so that when it's closed, you can't see the saying. It's not squirting out the ends. Does that make sense? Squirting out the ends. I'm using real red ink. And we'll just stamp that. Now, when you stamp on shimmery white, you guys, it's not going to be as crisp an image because it's got just the nature of the paper. I still like it. But if you like a really basic bright white with crisp, it's crisp. It's just that the paper isn't like that bright white. Does that make sense? Let's just put that down. Look at us motoring through this card. All right, here we go. Now, some of the major cutting. Let's get to that. How's everybody doing? Let me check. Oh, hi, Lavino. I'm so glad you said you were going to pop in and watch today. See how this was made? So that's cool. Thank you for coming. Okay, so here's our big guy. And I'm going to start with some real red paper. So I'm going to put my platform down. And because we're using dies, I am going to need my die cut piece here. That's plate number 2. And then I'm going to need a number 3. And then finally, I'm going to need another number 3. Okay, so we're going to put this down. This is the real red. And we're going to grab some of those dies. All right. Now what I've done, you guys, is I've gone ahead and already lined up the piece that embosses. This piece just embosses this inner piece. And then the outer die cuts them. So you can just cut without the inner, or you can just emboss without the outer. Does that make sense? And I just use a little piece of repositionable tape. Let me move it up so you can see. Just so that it keeps those pieces together and won't move while I'm cutting. Okay. So I've got my dies here. Let me grab my big guy. Okay, so there we go. Now I want to actually move this down just a titch because I'll show you why in a sec. I'm going to try and get one more cut out of this. I'm not sure I will, but I'm going to try. Okay. I sort of figured out something last night after I'd made my card. Do you ever make a card? You've got it all stuck down and then you want to add something and you make it so difficult on yourself because now you have to glue it while it's already glued on. Yeah, that was me last night. Oh, I should add some ribbon. Oh, I should add a back. Oh, I should add this. So it was already glued on, so it made for a little bit more work for me. Okay, and then I'm just going to take all these off. And what you end up with is, move all of this out of the way. My goodness, this is lots of red pieces. So I've made a boo-boo. That's okay. I have another piece of paper. I was too close to the end, you guys. I was trying to save paper, and then I got myself all messed up, right? So serves me right. Serves me right for trying to save paper. Okay, there we go. Whoops. And it's all right. We'll spend more time together. That's all right. There we go. Look at us. Okay. And then I think that's good. Oh, should go right through and come back. Okay. See? I use my big guy too often. Maybe he just thinks I don't know what I'm doing. Here we go. So that's what I wanted. So I've got a large piece and then a medium piece and then a small piece. So that's my poinsettia. Okay. Move that out. Now, the other thing I wanted to do actually was I'm going to take this apart and only have the outside. I just want that outside piece. And I think I can get it out of this. I'm going to use this for the back to hide some of the stuff that I'm going to be sticking on the back of my flower. So for those of you who are gardeners, our poinsettia, the red, the pink, the white, whatever colors we get, they're actually leaves, right? They're not petals. This is called poinsettia petals, but isn't it leaves? The actual, I don't know, maybe I'm just wrong. So there you go. You can see the difference, right? Can you see the difference that this one has got all the nice embossed and this one does not? So we can see the difference. Let's set those aside. Now I want to cut a few more things. I want to cut some, well, I want to cut some leaves. So maybe they aren't leaves. I don't know. Somebody will tell me. Counting on somebody to tell me. Anybody know? I believe they're leaves. I do too, Levine. I think they're leaves too. It just happened to be red or pink or white. It's kind of a pinky white. Gosh, they come in so many different colors now, don't they? When I was a kid, it was just red. Somehow I think I like the red. I do like the pink, but the red is so traditional and just reminds me of more of the Christmas that I grew up with, right? And can you see that I'm also using my tape? I just want to make sure these don't move while I'm cutting, because then they tend to make a bit of a mess. This is just tape I get from Amazon, removable tape. Okay, guys. Am I still in the shot? I hope so. I haven't been checking. I've been yakking away to myself and not really paying attention to you guys. Okay, actually, I'm going to do one pass. So I'm going to do those. And then I've got some beautiful gold foil. And I want to cut, I don't know what these are. We'll see. I'll show you them when I've cut them. I have no clue what their official thing is. I mean, I don't know what it is exactly. Some sort of, I don't know, plant. Anyway, if somebody knows, you can tell me, which I'll promptly forget even for next time. The colorful flowers are actually modified leaves called braxed. Oh, thanks, Eleanor. So are the leaves leaves? I don't know. No, I'm kidding you. Okay, so we're going to push this out. So find out what these are, Eleanor. That's your next Google, please. What are these things? Other than sort of pretty, I don't know, designs. I don't know what the official name of those are. All these things that you can find on Google. What did we do before Google? Oh, yeah, we had an encyclopedia. Remember those? Ugh. My sisters will laugh, but whenever I ask my dad something, you know, what does this word mean? Or he'd say, well, go get the dictionary. And if I said, how does, you know, blah, 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 he'd say, well, go get the encyclopedia. Did anyone else have Britannia encyclopedias that, you know, were in a bookcase? I say this with a half-joking tone because, believe it or not, my husband has the set from when he was a kid upstairs in his office. I have no idea why. I don't know. I mean, it's like having an atlas from the time we were kids. I mean, the world doesn't even look like that anymore, does it? Oh, dear. Okay. I think I've cut everything. So I'm going to put this away. Yes, I've cut everything. So let's get rid of this baby and put our stuff together. Here's all my little bits. Okay. All right. So I've got my main poinsettia leaves here, braxed, as Eleanor has told us. The yellow clustered buds in the center, termed Scythia. Really? Wow. It's fascinating. And something none of us will care to remember, right? We'll just say the poinsettia leaves. You have to be careful with these because they are, that white stuff that comes out when you cut them is poisonous to kids and animals. It won't kill them, but it'll make them really, really sick. And we don't want that. Okay. Luckily, my cat, and when I had a cat, and my dogs, they don't go near stuff like that. So that's a good thing. My dog eats disgusting things, but he stays away from poinsettias. Actually, before I stick those down, I wanted to add some Stella, but we can still do that. And I'm not going over the entire leaf. I'm just kind of adding a little bit of shimmer to the part that is embossed. Is anybody else obsessed with Stella? Or is it just me? Don't know. Keisha, I hope you're completely entertained. She said she comes here. She has no life, so I'm her entertainment. Which I said that was sad to think that I am her entertainment. Okay, glue that down. Okay, you can see, you've seen this live, but you can also see other pictures of the card on my blog, Stamp Crazy with Allison. Check my blog. Subscribe to my blog, and every time I post something, you'll get it. I post about 2 or 3 times a week. It's not too onerous. All right. So that's that. I am going to put little golden, the gems inside. So faceted gems. I'll do that in a minute. But next, I'm going to turn over my image here. And I want to add some gold. And I want to add some leaves. And I want my leaf to actually be the anchor piece because I need these 2 pieces to pop up, right? So what I want to do is make sure that I've got a piece that's going to extend over here to lift that up. And then I could use the other leaf actually. That might have been a little easier than what I actually attempted to do. There we go. I could do that. And then I can add my gold pieces. So I think the easiest thing for me is to put these on in a way that I can get it to pop up. You know, sometimes when you're doing things, it works out beautifully and then you can't really remember the tricks. Let's see if we can remember a trick. I do remember that last night I was using my glue and then I figured out that it was easier to use glue dots. Okay, next up, which is which end? See? They do this. Like, is the pointy end the part that I think it is? My goodness. So many questions. Such a complicated life. Okay. I think it goes like that. And I'm going to just figure out. There we go. That should work. And then the same on the other side. This is a bigger leaf. Yeah, I still think the pointy end goes down. Oh, well. I'm sure someone will tell me if it's not. My friend Lisa. I don't think this is one of her pet peeves. Bye, Jennifer. Watch it later. Vines up. Yes, of course. Marilyn, of course. They don't run like that. They point up. Oh, look, I think I did it right. Oh, my gosh, I did. That was a fluke. But thank you for confirming that. I want to make sure that I'm bridging that. So this was just enough of a bridge, you guys. Can you see what I mean by when I'm saying a bridge? I want to be able to stick this down and this down so that this pulls up. Okay, that's my goal. So I've got that. That's perfect. Everything else can go wherever I want. So again, I'm going to just use some glue dots on my, whatever these are. I don't know if there's an official name for them. There we go. And then I'm going to have another one. Good, I'm not late. I thought maybe because Jennifer had to leave, I was late. I try and keep my lives to 30 minutes, unless it's really a complicated live. But I don't think usually it is. Can you see I'm just building this up? Who's got this stamp set? I bet if you've got it, you forgot you had it. So go dig it out if you've got it. Ooh, sticking to my nail. Okay. I gotta make sure I'm not being overly optimistic here and that these are too long. Okay. That would be good. So yeah, I'm just trying to build. Oh gosh, here's my even in screen. What do you think so far? I think it looks pretty good. Okay. Now I want to add a little bit of ribbon because, you know, it's not complicated enough for me. I did this part after I made my card yesterday. I thought, gosh, some ribbon would have been nice. So it literally was stuck and I was sticking it down after the fact, like crazy. I hope I can do this live on camera. Oh gosh, hope so. All right, so I want to make a bit of a loop. Can you see what I've done here, you guys? I want a piece to end up here and I want a piece to go out here, and then I can trim it. So really that's what I'm trying to accomplish here. Okay, so let me turn this over, figure out which way I'm going. I think that looks good. Okay, and then let me turn this back over. And it's not long enough, so what I want to do, that's okay, I'm going to pull this. See, it's a little bit fussy, but we can do this. So let's grab some Scotch tape. Let's start it off, the piece. Make sure I'm going the right way here. Okay, so I'm going to start it off. There we go. I'm going to come up here. I'm going to flip it like that. Okay, and then I'm going to flip it back. And then we've got it going off the ends. So we're good. Or we're good enough. Let's put it that way. All right. Gosh. How's that? That looks good. Now, it looks a bit messy on the other side of this, right? Like we've got all this. So that's why I cut this other piece. And I thought if I just laid it on top, I'd hide a little bit of the mess. Does that make sense? Okay. And I'm not liking this loop. Okay, I'm just going to make it a little bit smaller. There we go. Just too long, too loopy. And then I can trim off those ends if I need to. Now, let's figure out how I'm going to do this. And what I decided last night was, this is not a symmetrical, so you got to find where it goes. It's another puzzle. I thought, oh, I'll just glue this down. But honestly, it was a bit too complicated to do that. It just kind of wanted to yawn all the time. So what I did instead was I used dimensionals, and I think I just have to figure out the way this goes, guys. So just give me a sec. There it is. Close enough. I just wanted to cover up most of this mess. There we go. I think that's it. Okay. So what I'm going to do is just move that aside so I don't forget what I'm doing. And then I'm going to put a whole bunch of these on. Now, pet peeves. We were talking about those earlier, weren't we? Pet peeve of my sister is too many dimensionals. So don't look, Mo, look away. Because really, you don't need tons of dimensionals normally. But for this card, I do. Okay. Okay, and then I'm going to bring this back on here. Oop. And there we go. I think that's good. There we go. So it's not so ugly when you open it up. And then I'm just going to remember which side. I think I'm going to do it like this. And I just want you're not going to have a lot of room to put those dimensionals to anchor it with those leaves, but you've got enough. So you're good. You think, oh gosh, that's not very sturdy, but it actually works out really, really well. Okay, that goes off. Hope I'm in screen. Never forgive me. Thank you, Modi. My sister Mo is forgiving me. And thank you, Levine, for sticking up for me. Okay, let's see. Sort of like, we don't want to, there we go, but I can trim the ribbon, which is the problem here. So this ribbon, I think, is just a bit too long in the teeth. There we go. And then finally, what I want to do is add some of these Gilded Gems. Oh, let me put this so you can see. I love these. Have you seen these? These are in the annual catalog. I think at one point they were in a mini, maybe. Not sure. So let me grab one. These are not, what are these called again? Eleanor, is she still here? She told us what these little guys were called in the middle of our flower. I need her to tell me again. Just finding the right sizes. This one here. Ooh. There we go. So they've got, not only are they gold, so they kind of look like the yellow in the middle of a poinsettia, but they're faceted too, right? Okay, so let's make sure I've got this working. I do, but this is it's a little bit too stuck. So this is funny, you guys. Do you ever have something that works perfectly well, and then all of a sudden it's not? So let's put that on. We're just going to use a little guy, and then that'll work. Okay, there we go. All right. Oh, I see what's happening. This is hilarious, you guys. This didn't happen yesterday, so bear with me. Talk amongst yourselves. Okay. You know what? Goodbye. You want to be like that? Goodbye. Should work. No problems last night. No problems. Okay. There we go. Let's bring in the card I made yesterday. I'll show you what I did, you guys. So see what I did? I bridged it. So I had this piece down here, and I guess I didn't use the leaf. I used this little piece over here. Should have done that. But can you see it's a spanner card? Get the idea. Oh boy. So we got our two sides that flip. We've got our middle that flips, and we've got our words. Isn't that hilarious? Oh my gosh. Okay. Scythia. Okay. So that was the original card, and I will play with this, and I will get this to work. This side works fine. It's just this piece here. It's wanting to stick. So I know what I did. See this? If you guys have dimensionals that you need for a specific purpose, so I needed it to stick this down, right? But this is still sticky. That was the problem. So take your embossing buddy and do that, and you will unstick. Okay. And now look, my card from today works. Gosh, I thought I was going nuts there. That was the problem. Okay, so there's both of them, and they both work. Okay. And then this was the card that I made the other day, as I showed you earlier, that works, right? And did I show you this card the other day? This is another card using the Poinsettia Petals. Okay. This one is stamped and then just cut out and colored with the Stampin' Blends, and then cut out with the frames from that die set. Okay. So see, I recovered. Whew. Yikes. All right. Ha! Oh boy, you guys. Okay. Thank you, Carol. It is stunning, and it's so easy to make. Trust me, it actually is easier than I made it look, right? What else? Any questions, you guys? Oh, what set? Cindy, we're using the Poinsettia Petals. It's from the Annual Catalogue. It was in last year's offering for Christmas, and they carried it forward. Hi, Gail. Yeah, you can watch the replay. Yep. Oh, here we go. Jeanette says foliage is red and green, so it sounds like they're considered leaves. Yeah. Okay. Oh, Cindy ordered a stamp and cut and emboss machine, and it's on her way. It's on its way to her. You're going to absolutely love it. Absolutely love it. Missed quite a few little things you guys were saying. Okay. I think we're good. Anything else that's new? Diane says now she has to get the stamp set. Yeah, it is beautiful, and get the dies because they're beautiful too. Okay, so I think that's it. What are we? 335. Not bad. If I had taken the stickiness off of those dimensionals, we would have been 333. Okay, you guys, thanks so much again for joining me today. I appreciate you taking time out of your day because you're busy people and joining me for our little craft fun time. I will be back on Sunday at 10 a.m. and I'll see you then. So if you have any questions, let me know. And if you create your own spanner card, please post it in the comments. I'd love to see them, okay? All right. Oh, thanks, Allison. Didn't see you sneak on there. Okay, guys. Bye for now. Take care. Happy stamping.